Well, so here I am, guys, in New York, in East Village, where you join me on the latest leg of my World Cup Odyssey. But I'm not here to talk about England or the World Cup. I'm here to talk about Newcastle United and transfers and Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali and Arsenal and Tottenham and whatever else it may entail. And I thought it was worth a quick little check-in. I don't know where I'm going. Join me for a wander. I'm hoping to catch the last 10-15 minutes of the USA game. Anyway, Newcastle United and two big stories today, two stories which have, existed there all summer really in some degree, and I'll take you inside them. First of all, Bruno Guimaraes. This was something we revealed at Mail Online today, myself and my colleague Tom Colin-Mossy, that representatives acting for Bruno Guimaraes have spoken to Arsenal. Now, Newcastle on the back of that are braced for an offer, if you like, in transfer. I'm going to make sure I don't trip up here. Are braced for an offer, if you like, in transfer speak. But the message very definitely is back, and this has been told to the representatives involved. Newcastle will not entertain an offer for Bruno. Now, what does all of this mean? Now, don't be blinded necessarily by Arsenal and by Newcastle. I think the story here is, and this was something I was aware of a week ago, that representatives working on behalf of Bruno Guimaraes, and I won't name the names, but they are high profile, they are respected, they are very good at what they do. They have been putting Bruno's name around certain clubs in the Premier League. Now, one of those was Arsenal. We've had it confirmed that talks between the representatives and Arsenal have taken place. Arsenal are showing an interest. On the back of that, a conversation, not club to club, but a conversation was had between said representatives and Newcastle when it was told in no uncertain terms, Newcastle have no interest in selling. So that basically, guys, is the genesis of the story. And I think what we've got to try to determine here is, well, what does it mean? Is this a case of Alexander Isak throwing his toys out the pram and trying to force the move? No, it's not. Bruno hasn't told Newcastle that he wants to go, but nonetheless, Newcastle are aware that the representatives have spoken to Arsenal. So what do they take from that? Does it mean that Bruno Guimaraes wants a transfer? Well, it might. We don't actually know. Newcastle do not yet know the exact meaning and the motivation behind this. It could mean the two possibilities, really, I think, for me. One, Bruno Guimaraes absolutely wants a transfer. That's it. His time is done with Newcastle, and the agents are acting to try and make that happen. Or Bruno Guimaraes has got 2 years left on his deal, and it might do him no harm if other clubs are interested, and he wants to put himself in a strong position to negotiate. We'll take a little wander towards Midtown here. Puts him in a strong position to negotiate that contract. One of the two, but this exists, guys. This is real. It's something which is out there. So I think we've got to acknowledge that and see where it plays out from here. But are Newcastle willing and wanting to sell Bruno Guimaraes? No, definitely not. This is different to Sandro Tonali. This is different to Anthony Gordon. The message in a long time out on Gordon was that, yes, they would do a deal if the price was right. The price was right with Barcelona, and they did a deal. Anthony Gordon is gone. Sandro Tonali, I'll get to him in a moment, but again, the messaging was different on Tonali. If the asking price was met, with Tonali having done 3 years at Newcastle, if Tonali wanted to go and the money came in at the right price, well, yes, there's a deal to be done, and we'll get to that in just a second. But on Bruno, I've never had that impression, not once. Now, it's different, because he's only got 2 years left on his contract. It's different if someone does, say Arsenal do come back and they put down a firm offer on the table that gets somewhere close to an asking price, whatever that may be. There is no asking price for Bruno at the moment. One of my colleagues said to me today, what price can we put on this story? I said, well, there is no asking price. Newcastle, it's not like Gordon and Tonali. That's the point I'm making. There is no asking price. But say an offer did come in what was, fair. Would Newcastle have a decision to make if Bruno Guimaraes then communicated that he wanted to go? Well, absolutely they would. He's only got 2 years left on his contract. We're not there yet. I'm not suggesting we are there yet. Is the interest from Arsenal real? Yes, I believe it to be. Is the presence of agents in the UK acting on behalf of Bruno Guimaraes real in terms of talking to other clubs? Yes, 100%. Newcastle know that. Newcastle have spoken to them, but they've told them they don't want to deal. I'm just going to cross because I'm going back this way.
How do you feel about Alexander Isak?
Isak, goodness, you're 12 months too late. Okay, we'll carry on. Thank you. Man-to-man job that was. Here we go. God, from hello. Right, we'll carry on. Where was I? Trying to get away from here, that's where I was. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes. Now, would I be surprised if an offer didn't materialise and the next step was contract talks? No, I wouldn't be surprised. Equally, if an offer did come from one of a handful of clubs who could who could afford Bruno and wanted Bruno. I wouldn't be surprised by that either. Goodness, we see his own play. We've seen him play the World Cup, some play last year for Newcastle. He's absolutely top class. It's why Newcastle want to keep and need to keep Guimaraes perhaps more than Sandro Tonali. So that's where we're at on that one, and it's a case of watching what plays out. But very definitely the message is Newcastle do not want to sell, but as I touched on earlier there could be a few more dominoes to fall on this one. Let's see where it goes. Sandro Tonali, Tottenham came with an offer of around 75 million 10 days ago, I think it was. That was very swiftly rejected. Now Tottenham have come back. Have they come back with a second offer per se? No, they haven't, but they've come back with a very serious conversation, which you can probably deem a second approach. And they didn't improve their offer. It wasn't a case of coming back with 75, and then going to 80 or 85 or even restructuring the terms of the deal. They did nothing. They just asked Newcastle during this conversation to reconsider the original offer. I mean, goodness, you've already been told no once. So, as expected, that was very swiftly rebuffed as well. And that's where we're at now. Now, Tottenham absolutely want Tonali. Roberto De Zerbi has made him his number one target, his fellow countryman in midfield. So I expect there'll be more to come on that. Tonali wants to go. We know Tonali wants to explore his options. His agents are very definitely active in terms of trying to find that club. And Tottenham is a possibility. Absolutely. Again, that would need them or somebody else to come back with an offer somewhere close to Newcastle United's asking price, which is, somewhere close, goodness, like being back on Wembley way, somewhere close to Newcastle United's asking price, which is somewhere near to £100 million. So that's where we're at with that. No one is getting close to that on Tonali at the moment. But if they do, will there be movement? Well, yes, I think there probably will be. So, yeah, guys, to take you inside the two stories from today, that is where we're at, basically. Now, in terms of incomings, Newcastle missed out on Victor Muniz, who has gone to Liverpool. Now, yeah, just on that's a frustrating start for Newcastle, because that would have put down a marker. If they'd have got that deal done swiftly and quickly, it would have signalled ambition to other targets. They still need, they've only brought in a second choice goalkeeper so far. They still need to make that signing which says to the market, we're in business here. We're not in the Champions League this year, but we've got ambition. They're striving to do that. Victor Muniz would have been that. Now, to be fair to Newcastle, they're very good at identifying talent. I know some of you guys out there want to have a pop at scouts. I want to have a pop at scouts occasionally, but they've identified these good players. They've identified a player in Victor Muniz who Liverpool saw fit to come in for and put the money down. They need to get one of those right. They need that signing which just states that calms everybody down. They need an incoming. They are working well. I'm told the structures are in place this time compared to last year. Of course they are. They've got the sporting director in Ross Wilson. They've got the chief executive. They've got that team there. They've just had a little bit of a rocky, bruising, bumpy start. But there's a long way to go, and let's judge the window. I know some people don't like us saying this, but let's judge the window in September, not now in June. A hell of a long way to go. But this was just a very quick update, and yeah, I'm going to go because one, I found a bar, and yeah, two, I'm just running from it's not, it didn't really feel the safest place around here, if truth be told. Yeah. Anyway, okay guys, that's it for me for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, but the weekend rather. I'll be at England versus Panama over the water there in New Jersey. I'll provide an England update from that game, so loads more content to come. But on this Newcastle video, please like, comment, subscribe, read the links in the description below the line for those stories, and yeah, I'll try and get through as many replies as possible. Okay, see you soon guys, bye bye.